It is still July 15, 2021, and we are going to do fires now. Earlier we did flooding, then we did tornadoes. Now we're doing wildfires. Look at this. Isn't this lovely? We've got a hurricane, a huge hurricane developing right off the coast. Canada, Alaska. Wow, you like those sharp cuts? Electromagnetic frequencies. So, this tonight is not doing me much good because based on what I know, having looked at all of the fires, Montana, Idaho, Washington, Oregon, and California, I am not seeing very many of them. So we will click off this and we'll go to my sky, northwest Montana, tonight. Wow. Wow. Okay. I didn't see the yellow, not with my naked eye, but I sure did see that cherry red again. Okay. I don't think the heat wave is ever gonna end. And yes, I'm adding something to my videos now that are somewhat pleasurable, okay. Maybe for you those who love cats.
You got it. You got it. It's getting a little cooler. That's good. This is Bandit. My bandit. My beautiful bandit. The girl. The girl, she's got 3 brothers. Yes, stretch it out. They're all dirty every day. Rolling in the dirt. There's one of her brothers, Buster. Stretch it out. Girlfriend. Anyone over there? Nope. No bears. Good. Good. Look at the sun. Or, yeah, I guess sun. Oh my God. It's gonna be hot again tomorrow. Wow. Well, they did talk about how it was going to be permanent. It may be permanent. Our heat wave. Okay. So. You can see the mountains more clearly. Somebody mentioned the sun was a smoke sun. We have more fires here in Montana. Oh, wow. Well, it's life.
That's life. So, I want to show you later on. I noticed this rather defined brown line over the mountains, and I think that is smoke. Smoke from the fires in Canada. I will say this, my eyes are hurting a whole lot. So, I also want to show you this. So, this was taken today at 8:20 p.m. And earlier today, I just saw the blips, beginning Louisiana and down here, south. Little blips, those nanobots the blips that you see here in the Gulf. And they grow them into storms. But, this line of storms from central on into Canada is kind of a regular that we see. Arizona, well, is this your monsoon? It looks like you're getting more flooding. So, what I really want to show you is satellite. Look at these fires. Okay, so you see the Beckworth right down here, a little bit of smoke. This is the Dixie fire next to Paradise. And this is our largest fire in the nation. Oregon, you are number one. What is all of this? Because it actually looks like smoke here. So do you have a lot of fires also in eastern Canada? There are fires here. Saskatchewan, Alberta, BC. Hard to see your fires today because, they manufactured an awful lot of cloud over you. But, there's 2 fires up here now in northwestern Montana. 1, 2. Then you have the fires that are close. Idaho, the news today. Oh, okay. Well, 8 p.m. it was 91 degrees. I just checked it for myself, but Idaho, today I heard one of your government officials saying, prepare for a big fire season. This is pretty intense. Now, that's the Grand View fire, which has grown. The Dixie fire. But you also have several fires here in California. They all seem to be in line. That's interesting, isn't it? Let's check that out again. You got one here. You got one here. And you got one here. And they all seem to be, there's pretty much, the same distance from the Nevada border. Yeah. So, loading. Grand View, which looks very strange. It seems like the smoke, all of this cloud developing. I'm sorry, I do believe that, I really do believe that they use nanotechnology in these fires. You see these little blips of cloud just kind of appear, but this smoke looks very strange to me. Little blip up here, and we're gonna hide. Look, they can use these nanobots for surveillance. They could also use the nanotechnology to get rid of the smoke. But they don't. Washington and British Columbia. Oh no, I'm sorry. That was still Washington. This is Washington. This is British Columbia up here. So, another fire that just suddenly develops right here. Northwestern Montana. I live about here. Right here. Look at the smaller arrow. The Lolo Creek fire is causing unhealthy air for Kalispell and Whitefish, Montana. But I did notice, wow, now what is this? What is going on? What is this blood red that develops? People would say, oh, it's the shadow of the cloud. No, I'm sorry, it's not. Because then you would see shadows, the same thing occurring in other areas. But I've noticed this kind of stuff. Some nights I noticed none of it, and then some nights I notice an awful lot of it. And they can have payloads of stuff up there in the atmosphere. Electromagnetic frequencies can set them off, and they can deliver down whatever it is that they want to deliver down, like biologicals. All right. So, yeah. What's going on here? Oh, my God. Well, clouds dancing around. They're just dancing. All right. I do believe that they're using nanotechnology. Okay. So, why don't we get into it? Fire restrictions tighten for Northwest Montana. Multiple wildfires continue to expand their footprints across the region. In response to the worsening conditions, fire officials in Northwest Montana moved to tighten restrictions, which, Glacier National Park, Flathead County, Flathead National Forest, and Conservation's Kalispell, Stillwater, Swan units prohibit campfires. I don't even know why they have to issue, those restrictions, because anybody who could light a fire, it's so dry here. Well, a lot of people would, probably. So, conditions are even more dangerous outside the Flathead Valley. So, Lincoln, Sanders, Lake counties, you get stage 2 restrictions, which, essentially means campfires are strictly prohibited. And I'll link below if you want to know what the restrictions are. But air quality in Kalispell, in Whitefish, rated as unhealthy for sensitive groups. Look, it's unhealthy. So, for everyone, if it's unhealthy for sensitive groups, it's unhealthy for everyone. Lightning caused the Burnt Peak fire in remote terrain west of Libby, which is close to where I live, and it grew Thursday morning, 1,361 acres. It is about 9 miles southwest of Troy, 10% contained, and progressing eastward. Oh, fabulous. Just come on down to... Now, I can't even remember the county name that I live in now. Oh, well. So, Yep. Uh, the fires are just unbelievable. More fires are developing. People on the ridge feeling uneasy about the Dixie Fire. No kidding. The Cares are all too familiar with wild season in Butte County. 2018, they lost their home and campfire. Paradise has always felt like home, and so we wanted to be back. Last year, they had to evacuate 3 times because of fires. It got to a point where they didn't even unpack their cars because it kept happening. It was dark as midnight. I remember one of the evacuations. It was 10:30 in the morning, and it was just like it was midnight, just like with the campfire. Smoke from the Dixie Fire visible in Paradise makes them feel anxious, especially at night when we go to sleep because we don't know. Well, Paradise got hit at night. That smoke's got everyone on edge. It just takes a big wind, like in the campfire, and things can completely turn around. I really tried to imagine what it must feel like for all of you out there, because it must be just... How do you sleep? Evacuations expand in Lake County as 227,000-acre bootleg fire spreads erratically. It's spreading erratically. That's great, huh? It's destroyed 21 homes, 50-plus structures, 7% contained. Evacuation orders near Summer Lake and Paisley. Both towns are located in Lake County, a remote area of lakes and wildlife refuges. Well, total population of about 8,000. Yeah, more fires, more evacuations. Couple loses home and business twice to Oregon wildfires. Ruby Reed and her partner, a survivor of the Cutoff Fire in Calumet County last month, which burned 1,300 acres, which included Ruby's 5-acre bee apiary in Bonanza. Everything was burned to a crisp. There was nothing left of the apiary, the beehives, except the concrete blocks that the hives were standing on. She and her fiancé, Chris Day, lost their home, an urban vegetable garden in Talent, Oregon, in the Alameda Fire last fall. Lost all of her possessions in an apartment fire at the age of 19. This will be the 3rd total loss of fire in my life. Wow. Wow. I had a terrible feeling that it was going to be all gone. But she was still holding on to hope that the fire had skipped over the property and her beloved bees. But reality set in as friends and neighbors messaged the couple their condolences that night that everything was gone again. At the property, Reed found the tools she had at the property had become a puddle of plastic. Nothing was recognizable. Nothing. Heart sank. It is a huge loss of not only the income and the businesses, but the part that matters most to me. I loved working with the bees, and now I don't have a single bee. The loss of the bees is really going to take me a long, long time to recover from. I don't really know if I actually ever will. This whole place is a tinderbox, Reed said. We know that something like this could happen, and we were afraid that it might, but we didn't think that it would happen again. So what does she say? I think the most important thing is to be prepared. Get your go bag ready. Get the paperwork that you would need if you had to leave your home and never come back. It's easy to think, well, this already happened to me, so it won't happen again. Well, she's there to tell you that it can happen to you twice. And the best thing that you can do is be prepared. They're currently fundraising to cover the damages of the last fire and to make their dream of continuing to farm a reality. God. Well, 3 times a charm? No. So the evacuation area for the bootleg fire has expanded, and that's a big area, but this is your, oh my God, Grand View fire, and another fire up here, which they are saying is going to unite with the bootleg fire. And I believe this is called the Lick, I want to say Lick Creek fire. Yeah. And they are saying that this fire is going to go on until, well, today I heard a broadcast, late fall. Reminds me of Newsom saying that, no, it was Jerry Brown, I think, one of the fires, and I think it was Jerry Brown who said, this fire is going to continue until after Christmas. And they didn't get it under control until like the week after New Year's, and I can't remember the year and I can't remember the name of the fire, but it went on for months. So it's not good. Here, Dixie Fire.
Madison, Chris, from this vantage point at the edge of Magalia, you can see that huge plume of smoke still burning over the Dixie Fire, not far away from where the deadly campfire broke out 3 years ago. And tonight, how the outline of that firefight may be helping this one.
It's scary, it's powerful, it's the magnitude is just mind-blowing.
Onlookers stop in their tracks on Highway 70 as the Dixie Fire grows.
Watching both sides of the fire here real close, and the trucks running and we're prepared to drive away at a moment's notice.
Crews bringing the fight from the ground to the air, even on rails. Rail workers spraying the flames on the high side of the tracks, they say, in coordination with CAL FIRE, hoping to prevent the spread to this side of the canyon.
What hit him that he became so dramatic and loud with that? But they're trying very hard to contain this fire. But the winds are very erratic. And when I look at seeing Magalia, Concow, all of these towns around Paradise, it's like, it does something to me, just viscerally. I can't imagine what you guys are feeling. Beckworth, new evacuations.
Fire tonight raging in Plumas and Lassen counties tonight, jumping containment lines and prompting new evacuations.
The new evacuation order in place for the town of Doyle, where dozens of homes have already burned. It covers Old Highway 395 from Laura Drive to Cowboy Joe Road. Also, CHP has closed down Highway 395 from County Road 826 to Highway 70. And tonight, new video from Doyle shows windy conditions and the sky glowing red. The flames have already burned at least 95,000 acres and have destroyed 33 homes.
Well, this is the Beckworth fire. Well, wildfires for California and Oregon.
very horrifying. The wind and the fire and the speed of it, it just overtook everybody. We got out in time. I looked in my rearview mirror and the flames passed over the road and headed down my driveway and burned both sides of my property and 6 dwellings.
The fire was moving so fast and so hot that it was exploding spot fires ahead of it, way ahead of it, like a gunshot. It was one of those things that, you know, you're kind of like, well, I love you, goodbye, this could be it. You know, I hope not, but...
So the spot fires, way ahead of the fire, like a gunshot. See, that, to me, raises questions about the nanobots igniting. Though, let me bring up his channel. Jeff Snyder 2, I will link below to his channel, and he has a lot of videos on plasma fires, and they're very educational. He pointing out the signatures of plasma fires coming from the ground. So there's, yeah, look, there's a lot of methods that they now have, many of which we know. What don't we know? That's what is concerning. So, more evacuations, Washington.
We had our 3 cars packed up with stuff last night, 2:30 in the morning, 3, 4. I slept an hour last night just watching it.
It was just racing across the hillside. You could just see it. I mean, it looked like ocean waves just rolling out in front of the fire.
People have died.
So,
at least 70 others.
Those people are very lucky, but that fire is continuing. Listen to this. Listen to this. This is the Grandview wildfire, and I read that email that I got from a subscriber in Grandview area. She making just breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the firefighters because there was not a I think, you know, it's the federal government that supplies, you know, the food for firefighters, and they had not shown up yet. Listen to this.
A recent incident at McDonald's and Sisters has caused some commotion in that community. Leslie Cano looked into exactly what happened. Leslie?
Lee, social media posts are circling online about firefighters being refused service at the Sisters McDonald's. This has led people to ask exactly what happened and why were these firefighters turned away. On Tuesday evening, Kaylee Robbie received a phone call from her wildland firefighter husband saying he had just been denied service from the Sisters McDonald's. Robbie's husband had just finished a 15-hour shift on the Grandview fire and was looking for something to eat along with the rest of his team, which was about 22 people.
Usually when they're on fires, there's some sort of camp kitchen that provides food for them so they don't have to buy their own food or worry about that. However, the camp was fairly new, so they hadn't set up a kitchen yet.
It was a little past 9 p.m. Tuesday, and the only restaurant open was McDonald's, which was closing at 10. Robbie and his team went through the drive-thru, but were told they could not be helped, although the restaurant was still open. Kaylee said he told her it was because one of the employees said too many firefighters had already passed through with large orders.
My husband then said, well, we're firefighters too, and they said, okay, we'll come to the lobby. And then when they got to the lobby is when there was some discrepancy between the firefighters and the McDonald's workers.
That's when a worker from another restaurant in Sisters saw the commotion happening from next door at the Chevron gas station.
She called me up and said, do you mind if I bring 10 people over to feed them tonight? We were closed. And I said, absolutely.
Tracy Sayanovitz opened up her restaurant, Chops Bistro, and went to work in the kitchen.
They are very deserving for businesses to open up and take care of them.
Sayanovitz fed them a steak dinner free of charge.
They were the most genuine, appreciative people that instead of having a hamburger, they actually had a meal. And it was awesome to do it.
The Sisters McDonald's owners would not go on camera. Scotta Carrigy, the owner, released the following statement. Supporting first responders is core to my organization's values. We are committed to serving our community and have provided thousands of free meals to our firefighters and first responders battling our local wildfires for generations. We are disheartened to hear of this incident, which is not reflective of the high expectations I set for my organization. We look forward to continuing to serve the firefighters who are courageously working to battle the Oregon wildfire.
Well, there's the commitment needs to be strengthened, I think, maybe. Here, there have been people who have not been in their home for over a week.
Out there, I saw the flames creeping up the side of the bluff about a mile away towards our place and got the call to pack up and go. So I threw what I could in the truck and the 2 dogs and we took off. It's slowly sinking in that I got no place to go to and now I got to figure things out. I love living in the woods too, but I might have to move back to town.
I looked out and smoke everywhere. I mean, it was just went from daylight to almost nighttime, just bam. And I thought, crap, my dogs are at home. So I told my neighbor, I got to go back to my house. He says, you better hurry. I drive to my house and there the ranger guy was at the thing. He says, you can't go back up in there. You got to go. I said, my dogs are in my house. I just jumped out of my vehicle and I ran, got down there. Got my dogs out and got them in the car.
A lot of people are facing the I have no place to go. Listen to this.
What this means for future wildfires.
The National Interagency.
Sorry. Hang on.
The federal agency that coordinates mutual aid for wildfires is sending out a warning. We have not even hit peak season and already resources are stretched thin. KTVU's Tom Bakar tells us what this means for future wildfires.
The National Interagency Fire Center has declared a level 5 preparedness level. That's the highest level of wildland fire activity. There are now enough fires in the western states to potentially exhaust national wildland firefighting resources. And at this level, all fire-qualified federal employees become available for wildfire response. For now, California's internal mutual aid with local, state, and federal agencies within the state will be sufficient.
The good thing about California is there's a lot of fire resources within California, and we have those agreements set in place. So if we need, we can rely on our local government partners and our other federal partners to assist.
But going back to last August's lightning strike swarm that started thousands of fires in 2 days, California had to get a lot of mutual aid from out of state.
We now are engaged formally with mutual.
I can't even listen to him. I'm not kidding. I am so repulsed by these people. I just can't listen to it. And yeah, scarce firefighting resources amid drought. Well, oh boy. I want to just end with this. Just in case people don't know.
Many people in the area own animals, and many owners are left with the burden of figuring out how to get them out safely. As Newswatch 12's Brett Taylor reports, there are organizations in Klamath County that can help.
Connie Willard and Project Spirit have rescued hundreds of animals from wildfires over the last couple of years, but with the Boot Lake fire still actively growing right now in Klamath and Lake counties, their work isn't done just yet. Over the last 9 days, Willard and her team have rescued more than 200 animals from the Boot Lake fire, including horses, chickens, cows, goats, llamas, and more. Although most of their rescue operations have gone smoothly over these last 9 days, some have not, including one operation where the fire was closing in and the horses they were trying to rescue would not cooperate.
The horses would not load, and it was dark and it was smoky and the fire was very nearby. We were out there for 2 hours and we managed to get 2 of the 3 loaded and in the trailer, but the third one we had to leave.
Now, thankfully, Willard told me that that horse is still doing all right and that they've been making regular trips back in the area to check on that horse's condition. But with the Boot Lake fire growing to more than 227,000 acres in size and 7% containment, more animals will need to be rescued in the coming days until this blaze is stopped. Reporting in Chiloquin, I'm Brett Taylor, News.
Let me just say that the subscriber near the Grandview fire, I read that email yesterday. She was saying that she couldn't believe how many people in her area were posting on some site, some social media site, about how they were available to, take in horses or take in dogs, take in cats. That's what people need to do in communities when there are fires, All of this needs to be organized, and where you can bring your animals before you have to evacuate. So, yeah, for the fire states, try to get organization going. Tell people to post what they can do for people who are in these fire areas. All right, guys, link is below. Stay safe. Stay safe.